got done teaching a class about the benefits of raw food. We made some juices and smoothies, and I talk often at other universities, the Joliet Park District, sometimes in-home demos. I do pantry cleanouts, and I do all sorts of demonstrations to teach you how to use the essential kitchen equipment that we use in raw foods, and I show you how to use them and what different options you have and the things you can make with them.
Make it until you like it, and then like I said, you kind of, you know, it's like, oh, it's too bitter. Add another banana, add some strawberry. It's something that is going to make you like it to drink it. Because if you don't like it, you're not going to drink it very long. You're like, forget that.
Yep.
Kristen, how many calories?
Oh, that's a great question. In raw food, you don't have to worry about calories. You don't count calories because you couldn't eat, I mean, you would have to really try to eat an excess amount of calories to gain weight with raw and living foods. You're naturally going to eat enough until you feel full, until you're satisfied. You're not going to overeat, and if you do, you're not going to gain all those extra calories, so you're not going to put on the extra weight. You're going to eliminate it. So over time, what happens is, and this is what happened to me in about 6 to 9 months, is that 30 pounds just disappeared off. And now my weight's been completely stable for probably a year and a half. I mean, it doesn't change. So every day it's like right on the same number. So it will stabilize you. It'll get you where you're naturally supposed to be.
Do you
So
exercise?
no calorie counting.
Do you exercise?
Yes, but not vigorously, but not vigorously. And when I
don't
lost
want
the
to
weight,
exercise.
you have to, because just like the food does good things for your body, exercise does good things for your body. You have to exercise. Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah.
Can you add like yogurt?
Well, dairy is not included with a raw food lifestyle, so I don't. But if you choose to, I mean, you could do that. I'm not here to tell you what to do or what not to do. It's your choice how far you want to take it. But you could use yogurt if that's what you would like to do. Sure.
Plain though, right?
What about Jamba Juice? Somebody asked about Jamba Juice. Any good? Bad? Yes? No?
Jamba Juice, juices like that, places that are stores like that, typically they're going to use a lot of concentrates in their recipes, and those concentrates are really key words for sugar. So those places often have really high sugar content, and it's not going to be the same as making it on your own with ingredients that you know what's going in there and you're doing it yourself.
There is places that you can find that you watch them put the fruit in the
Yes.
smoothies and stuff. Those places are good.
There's some places in the city who do that. There's unfortunately not a lot of places right here in our area. That's the bad part, but we're hoping that changes.
Hoping that one of you are going to open one.
Yes, that would be great.
Let me get right on that. Give me some money.
Yes, Suzette, do you have a question?
Thank you. Just trying to be helpful here. So I take it, I'm noticing that you blended this one because you couldn't use the coconut shell obviously in this one, but these you can use the skin and everything. That's why you're juicing.
Well, that's one reason. I mean, there's billions
Just
and
saying,
billions
people.
of recipes, but you could also
Learn
just
something new
make
today.
a juice and then incorporate your coconut water into it. So you don't necessarily have to put it. It's all about the fiber. Juicing
Right.
and smoothies, it's all about the difference of the fiber. That's really the only difference.
Yeah.
Even if this raw food and juicing is something that's not for you, I mean, as chefs going out in the industry, you know, if you can offer this at a place where you work or you run into customers that need some of this stuff, and you know, she gave you some statistics about, you know, where we're going, and we're not getting thinner, we're getting worse, and you know, it's nice to have that in your pocket as far as like, yeah, I know how to make some different smoothies, a sweet one or a savory one, or some other healthy alternative. So even if it's not for you, it may be something that you utilize as a chef and go out there and incorporate it into your restaurant possibly or something. Okay?
Okay, here we go. We're on juice. So when I juice cucumbers, I leave the skin on. Apples, pears, same thing. You can leave all the skins on. There's a lot of nutrients in those skins, so when you're peeling them and throwing them out, you're losing some of that nutrients. So you want to leave them.
Is this your juice or ours?
Yours. I haven't used this one before.
And it's fun to throw big things in there.
Yes.
Push them in there.
heck to do with my overflow.
Yes.
Now you know.
Get off the greens, but it seems to me like
Juice
this would really help
Absolutely.
stuff. And anybody who wants to grow, greens are one of the easiest things to grow. Just in a pot outside your house, throw the seeds in there, and then cut them off and they'll regenerate themselves. So I'm thinking
Same thing with the sprouting. You know, it's very easy to do sprouts and everything. It just kind of keeps rejuvenating itself.
Not much juice there. This is the bad thing about when you juice things like kale or chard, things like that are leafy, romaine, they have different content levels of juice in them. Yeah, that's like drops.
We got 4 drops.
I think, you know what too, it's this juicer. The higher end juicers, the more expensive they are, they don't use a centrifugal motor. They actually use a squeezing, a pressing process, and that's going to yield a lot more juice than a juicer like this.
So you're saying ours is cheap?
No, I get the cheap. So, you gotta, here we go. There you go. Yeah, it's done. Alright, so let me see. I think I'm going to add a couple more of these, and that's our first batch. So this one's going to probably taste a little greener to you than maybe the smoothie, but I just wanted to give you an idea of the difference. How do you pour out of here? Oh, I see. It's got the built-in. So you don't get all the foam. Yep.
Huh?
You want to make sure that you probably will taste better if it's cold, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so maybe if the fruit's not cold, then maybe you need to refrigerate it or put some ice in there or whatever. And
Use my shit. Getting no
make
ice.
popsicles.
We're having it natural. Much as I love ice.
Question. That's a question. It's a good question.
It's a question, Amy. It's a good question.
We've got a question over here.
Question? I'm sorry, yes?
Other than
Can
me.
you add honey for the sweetness? Would that be okay?
Yeah, if you, that's a great question too.
Quiet.
If you want to add honey, a lot of people who are raw foodists don't believe in eating honey because it's an animal product. I myself eat honey. I don't think that, I don't really have a problem with it. You just want to look for honey, like not the honey bear that you buy at the grocery store. That's processed. That's not real honey. That's just like sugar. You want to look for a raw, unprocessed, unfiltered honey. And you can find raw honeys at most health food stores. Honey has a lot of really great enzymes and benefits, minerals and things.
Get local honey.
At least I'll put the back, and it'd be easier.
Agave syrup and honey.
Yeah.
Yeah, agave had a really great following a couple years back, and it was like the raw food answer to sugar replacement, but what they found is that it's not as great as they thought it was. They thought it was really low on the glycemic index, but it turns out it's not. So people who have diabetes and are sensitive to sugar, those can actually be harmful to them. So I've gotten away from using agave. A lot of raw food chefs still do use it, but I'd rather use honey. I'd rather use fruit. Medjool dates are really great. Dates are a super, super great way to sweeten any kind of raw food dish that you want. Medjool dates. It's MEDJOOL dates. And you can find them, most health food stores, again, they carry them.
So if you're out there right now and you're tasting it and you're like, you know, then you maybe again you add a little more pineapple or you add a little more cucumber, a little more apple, or you know, make it to you like it. Okay.
When you drink something, does it lose more nutrients rather than eating something?
Juicing.
Like it's also like a whole orange. Get the same thing.
Yeah, you're going to get the same vitamins. You're going to get a little, like this juicer particularly, because it's a centrifugal juicer. It does have a little bit heat element to it, so you are going to lose a tiny bit of nutrition. But like I said before, like eat all these things at one time, you wouldn't be able to do. So the little bit of loss that you might be, the hit that you're taking on the nutrients. How's the juice? Is it greener than the smoothie? Yeah. Cucumber? Here.
The first Noel.
And like you said, you could add some sprouts and seeds, you dehydrate them, to pizzas, to brownies, cakes, cookies, anything you can think of. So that's a great resource. Typically, my day looks something like breakfast. I always start off with a big glass of water with lime juice, freshly squeezed into it. Then I follow it by a smoothie. And my smoothies and or juices, depending on the day, vary from this size all the way up to a half gallon. So it depends on what I'm putting into it and how much juice or smoothie I'm building from it. That's my breakfast, and I usually bring a piece of fruit along with me, and that lasts me till lunch. And then at lunchtime, I usually have, there's tons of various things I have, but like for example, I might have like a raw hummus with a raw flatbread or a cracker that's raw, that's been dehydrated, fresh vegetables. Dinner might be a really large salad with all the fruits, nuts, or sorry, not fruits, but nuts and seeds that I can have around the house. So that's a typical thing. I'm not really